Right.
There we
Yeah.
go.
And then like have a lot of we have a lot of things experiences with the previous meeting, like as we are talking about our passion, our MTP, so we all want to talk about the passion. And yeah, like so maybe this time we may adjust a little bit.
Might be good to put a cap on the passion conversations, which can take a long time, I guess.
um,
They're very
yeah.
exciting though. Definitely
Mm.
need a space for that.
Yes, actually, yeah, I think that having an opportunities to be together and to share the same passion, and then especially to do the same thing, that is something that is very needed. That we yeah, yep. So let's go. Let's start with the section. One moment, let me share this screen. Do you see my screen? Yeah,
Yes, we see it, Krishna.
amazing. So thank you so much for all of us joining this call. And I like actually we team up together, and that's amazing. So for this section, it is a kick-off section. So we're gonna have like first is the quick intro, sharing about like our name, where we come from, and then maybe like why we are here. And then we gonna share a little bit about the context of why Planet Pilot and Educate for Life is here as well. And then what we will do together in the next journey, and how we're gonna form the team and the next plans like in this week and next week and the week after. And like I put the Q&A later on, but I think during the section, if we have any questions, anything that we want to ask, please feel free to ask us. So yeah, so let's get started. Maybe for the intro, yeah, just like to take a look at the time and like to have a more efficient section. Maybe we can keep like, for example, 1 to 2 minute maximum to share about uh, our name, where we come from, and then our MTP, why we are here. So maybe I would like to who's volunteer then? Who's gonna share first?
Yes, I can go ahead and just get it over with, you know. This is, eventually it's going to happen. So, well, hello, my name is Kazım. For those who haven't heard before, I just would like to help you remembering the pronunciation. Kazım, like in sarcasm. It's not Kazim, as you would normally read the Turkish letters. So, Kazım, I'm from Istanbul, born in Istanbul, raised, grew, and then lived around a few countries, and now I'm back here again. Actually, I can very shortly say my MTP is just to change. So it's a solid disruptive change, because our generation actually has experienced a lot. I'm now 60 years old, and I've seen a lot. It was very compressed time, and we have seen many things that our fathers, grandfathers never even thought of, dreamed of. And what we're going to deliver to our kids, grandkids, is again a totally different world. So that's why it's interesting. So I've been in business for 35 years, but recently, like for the last 5-6 years, I'm more focused and concentrated in futurism. Read a lot, heard a lot, talked a lot, learned, and also went through the path for as a futurist. So there's also the models, the studies behind that. But of course, it's a huge angle. It's a wide angle, but I'm more focused on training and education and learning, and especially focus on working with kids, so-called the K-12 level. Of course, work with higher education and lifelong learning. But now with this project, with Planet Pilot, I really would like to focus on the K-12 level. Any to contribute anything anyway, anyhow I can. So I would like to be part of the team. As I said, I hope I can qualify to be a pilot. So if you teach me something, I'm a quick learner. Okay, I'll cut it out in 58 seconds now. Done.
Thank you so much,
You're
Kazem.
welcome.
Kazem is like, yeah, so passionate about education and about like co-creating a new next level of, or like next version of education. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And Uz want to introduce next. Heron? Hello, Heron.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, good to talk to you. I don't know where to start, but my primary focus is on language. It seems to me, doesn't seem to me, we think in language, the voice in our head. And that begins before kids even start at school. So what I'm doing is and English is taking over the planet, whether it's suited to it or not. And English, it turns out, is deeply flawed. So my project is debugging English. I call it Earthling. And it's Earthling is English minus what I call the 5 stupidities. And I'll put some links in the chat to one of my podcasts that explains the 5 stupidities. But to summarize it, I would say 95% of people 95% of the time live in a linguistically induced hypnotic trance. They believe everything they hear their language machine say. The voice in your head, you know what I'm talking about, the voice in your head isn't something you are doing. It's something happening to you. You've been hijacked by your own language machine. And waking up from the trance of the Paleolithic trance of language is a game changer. Humans have been under the spell of the voice in their head for the last 200,000 years. And a couple thousand years ago, it began to change. A few individuals, a few weirdos began to wake from that trance, and they started all the religions that we have today. But now it's happening. It's beginning to happen. I expect in the next 20 to 30 years to see a critical mass of humans awakening from the Paleolithic trance of language. And it starts in the home, because before kids even get to school, they've already got the language working. So my job is to create a curriculum for parents of preteen children so that they can raise their children to be conscious of the voice in their head and not be under the spell of it. I like that. That was good.
Yeah. Heron, actually in the team there's Angelo, who's also like working on language and very passionate about that. And also we can think also like Diana has suggested like maybe an English quest for the non-English speaking kids. That also something
Absolutely.
that
They're all going to become English speakers.
Yeah.
So I taught English as a second language for 10 years, and I have a particular interest in that. So yeah, I'm here to play. I'm here to work and play and change the planet.
Aaron, yes, that would be so amazing. I share passion with you about language and the impact of how it has on how we perceive the world, right? Anything that we just recognize as the English word of it, we don't recognize it as what it is, right? So so much to that. Thank you for sharing.
Well, let me I'll put some text in the chat that explains some of this stuff and some links to me and one of my podcasts, and one of my podcast episodes is called The Five Stupidities of English, and all my contact information. And since this is my obsession in life, I invite all of you to contact me personally and talk about this, because that's what I do. So, you know, I'm always available to talk about how language is going to change the world. So yeah, I'll put that in now.
Thank you, Heron, for sharing.
Oh, this is my pleasure.
So, and then we have Jonathan. Hello, Jonathan. Jonathan. Yeah.
Hi. So my purpose is to help create one model society somewhere on Earth that embodies systems of sustainable technological abundance and exists as a true society, meaning that it embodies values that are the consensual creation of the residents. I would argue that almost all of the nations on Earth today are not truly societies because there's not a set of explicit shared values, first shared by all the residents, and second, from which all laws and culture emanate. I wrote a book called A Celebration Society, which is one possible expression of this idea. And another aspect of it is that societies should be evolutionary. I don't have all the answers. I've made a lot of mistakes, and one of my closest allies are the people who have taken the time to go through my book with a fine-tooth comb and identify my mistakes. And then we figure out, okay, how can we improve this? Where's there a better approach? So we're always looking for best available evidence, always trying to take a scientific approach. And I would argue that this is what has set Silicon Valley apart from the rest of the world in terms of transforming different industries. A scientific approach to creating a startup to transform an industry. And our question is, why not take this same proven success, wed it to a set of values, and then upgrade it to the level of society itself? And I'm working with a number of other beautiful people around the planet to move in this direction. And we're going to host a global event in 2022 that should really open some eyes and broaden the conversation.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you for bringing all of that. And then, yeah, let's co-create and go together and co-create something for the kids, like kids and teen, and then for education. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah. So who's wanna be next? John Pong then. Do you wanna say hello to everybody and introduce and talk about why you are here with us? Hello, John Pong. Oh, maybe John Pong, maybe like he's maybe he cannot hear or something. John Pong, are you here? Okay, maybe we can come back to John Pong later. So actually before going to Lars and then to Diana, maybe we want to share a story to you, and then we're gonna introduce ourselves to you. So actually, why we have this, why we are here. So we all have like kind of a northern star that that show us here. I actually believe in that. And let me share with you the story. It was in February 2020. We were 6 people from different corners of the world, and we found Educate4Life community. And that's an educational community where we come together, we team up, and then we go through 3 months sprint, which is an amazing process. And that helped us from having nothing, just a passion, and come together and going through the process, and then having something, creating something tangible. So Planet Pilot was born from there. And the one who found the one who found Educate for Life, that's Laslin. Yeah, thank you so much, Lars. And I'd like to introduce to you, Lars, who's like the one who create the community and then bringing us the opportunities to get together. Me and Diana and Justina and also like other team members coming together and then work on a meaningful project, having really good methodologies, and then build something tangible. So that was the story of Planet Pilot. And Planet Pilot and Educate for Life wants to, we want like together people and then having the kind of like similar methodology, and then we're gonna co-create and build something together as that. So yeah, I maybe Lars and Diana, do you want to share something and introduce a little bit to the team, to all of us? Thank you.
Ladies first.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Lars. Thank you, Crystal. And thank you, all of you, for being here. I am very, very excited to be on the second call. As you mentioned, we had a previous call in the morning. And it's just amazing to see how aligned we all are, right? Sometimes it's difficult to spot positive change, right? And all this change that we're seeing, and just hearing about what we're working on is amazing, right? How can we really co-create 1,000 ways to empower not only kids, but with Educate for Life, a lifelong journey, right? Of learning and growing and collaborating. Like what does society look like if we build this today, right? It's just such exciting topics. And to introduce myself, my name is Diana. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm right now in Miami, but I've been living in China for around 7 years. There, I got some corporate experience working, and I didn't like it very much. I did get a lot of opportunities from it, and I got to start my first entrepreneurship project in education. It was in the area of personal and professional development. So, actually understanding our emotions and how some chief fears that we have really get on the way of society, and are the root of most of our social problems. So we did this program of self-discovery, and it wasn't so well received in the Beijing market. Parents had very strict agendas of what kids should do in the future, and so it was a big push. And so my investor had to deviate. We started doing an investment platform again, back to something I wasn't really working until 2 a.m. for, and waking up for, and again, I was seeing myself go to where I was, like the future I was trying to change. So then I met Lars at that stage when we were back in that corporate world, and he was doing the sprint with Educate for Life. And to me, that was just an amazing opportunity, having been in OpenX myself, and knowing the value of what it really has, right? To actually come up with business models that can scale, right? And that can have a global impact. So just having the opportunity to go back to that, and with an amazing team that you're going to start to meet, was a great opportunity. I'm so happy we've done this. It's been 7 months, and it's been such a completely different journey when you do something not by yourself, but really collaboratively, and with the best intentions at heart. So this has been the journey so far, and we've learned a lot. And what we've learned the most is that we have to co-create this together, right? And that there are more than 1,000 ways that we can do this, and we just have to figure out how, right? How can we be this empowerment hub to get to that end goal? So yeah, that's just a little bit about myself. And now, Lars, I'll give the floor to you.
Thank you so much. Why I am truly excited about this group of people I see here on the screen is the mindset you each bring to the table. You want to make a difference. You want to change a world that doesn't really work the way it should have been doing for many centuries. It's just put together in the wrong way, and we are here because we want to change that. And I think a change agent is maybe one of the better descriptions of myself. I'm Lars. I live in Copenhagen, which is why it's getting a little bit dark outside. It's autumn here, so I'm turning on the lights so you can better see me. uh, I've been spending, I'm an electronics engineer and algorithm designer from background, so I'm a nerd. uh, but I've been spending like so many years in the education system, just wondering what I was doing there. What am I doing here? I'm sitting in this classroom surrounded by other innocent creatures that have been put here by our parents, probably asked to sit still and listen. And the teachers are saying the same thing. Spending so many years doing that, finally I got to university, figured out, here I can do what I'm really interested in. But I've been following my heart always, been doing corporate careers in very large companies, many industries, been creating 6 different startups in my time so far. Well, actually probably 8 now with Planet Pilot. So I've been listening to and wondering why people have this voice inside of their heads that we discussed earlier, and what makes them sit in a classroom for so many years. And it's because we've been programmed by earlier generations. Everybody tells you you have to do it, otherwise you don't have a future. But it's wrong, and we need to change that programming. There are better ways. As a matter of fact, we have to change this way, because our kids today can get a much better life by learning much different skills, adopt a better mindset, uh, just be empowered and go and do what kids are really good at doing. That's all we need to do, essentially. So I want to do this together with all of you, and I'll cut it here. Looking forward to get to know everybody even better in the coming days and weeks and months and years. You might stay with us, so be careful about joining. People never want to leave again. I hope that's the case for each of you as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lars. So maybe I also like this time present introduce myself. So I'm Crystal, the one like contacting you, and sharing with the team from the beginning. So actually I'm like I'm not like entrepreneurs like from the beginning. I was like in the corporate world. I was in the finance sector, and then I didn't got my purpose. 1 week ago, I didn't have anything. I just leave, because it's kind of been programmed, like the environment programmed me as such. But after that, it was so great that I joined a 360D, and then also OpenExo. I found my MTP, which is democratized qualified education. I just imagine that like the kids from like the far away land in the mountains, and they also have the same opportunities to have the best education from the states or from like many other countries, like developed countries. So that was my MTP that I found last year, and I was so lucky that I found Last and Educate for Life. And then I just like I was just like with the team, and right now everything has changed my life. I quit everything, all my past, and then like now it's completely different. And it was just from February 2020 and to now. So and actually what we built, it just 3 months that we could create something that is tangible, and we test and everything. So I truly believe in the purpose, in the like um the how can we say, like the intelligence collective, right? Yeah, collective intelligence. And then yeah, getting together and then having the right methodology, the right mindset, we will come up with what we really want to do. So yeah, so that's about me. Thank you so much for joining and teaming up and build something together. And I see here we have Hello and Fatih. Hello, would you like to introduce yourself? Hi, hello.
Sorry, I'm gonna change my name. The F color is short. The F is for Federico. I'll present myself. My background is in engineering, so I'm kind of like a nerd or a geek like Lars. I haven't found any startups yet, at least. But I work. I studied engineering, and I work in a multinational company full time that does pipes. But aside from that, I also teach, and that's why I joined this project. I love teaching. I don't teach for kids, but I do for university. I used to teach some courses, a couple about physics, and one that is the one that I keep teaching, which is about management and business strategy. And I seized that opportunity to do something that wasn't in the syllabus at first, but I thought it was pretty useful for them, which was to introduce things, as you said, to change the mindset and to do a little bit of, let's say, give them tools for life rather than things they will be evaluated on. So the thing is, things like, I don't know, personal finance, or how and where to look for work, or how to go to interviews or stuff like that. And they really liked it, and they were so motivated by that I wanted to do more and see more opportunities to do that. I was hugely impressed and motivated by talks like people like Ken Robinson. I think you all know him, and stuff like that. So I wanted to get more in touch with projects like this and put my grain of sand to the project. So that's me.
Thank you, Federico. Thank you for joining the team.
Thank
and
you.
I'd love to introduce Amma. Amma, would you like to share with us more about you?
I'm not sure Omar's connection is
Hello,
good.
Amma.
I've seen him dropping off and coming back
Oh,
quite a few
oh.
times.
So maybe so we gonna yeah later on, if we have like, yeah, we see that better connection with Amma, we gonna yeah ask Amma to share with us as well. All right, so now maybe we'll go back to what we gonna expect through this program together. Let me share the screen again. So do you see my screen? Oh, not yet. You see my screen?
Now it's
Yeah, now, yes.
Cool. So what we will do together. First, we're gonna team up, get ready. Yeah. So after that, after yeah being ready as a team, we're gonna join the proposed challenge, which is the future of education. This is the challenge which is founded by Francisco Palau and a lot of other like people who are passionate about empowering extraordinary people. And this time on the 7th of November, um, uh, they're gonna organize the challenge for us to join, and it's about creating a new the next version of education. And with this, joining this, we're gonna join as a team. And then through this challenge, we're gonna have methodologies and innovation methodologies, which is the purpose launchpad that I will share with all of us about these methodologies. So we're gonna go through this process. For the challenge, we gonna spend only one Saturday, which is the 7th of November, and then we have 1 week previous to the 7th of November. So it's from like the 2nd to the 6th. So that's the week that we're gonna work individually. So like I mean like on our own rhythm, like with the material and everything. And then during the challenge on the 7th, we're gonna like stay as a team and then have the mentor supporting us. And then after that, we're gonna pitch on the same day, on the 7th. But with Planet Pilot and Educate for Life, and with us, we will not only doing that. Before joining the challenge, we're gonna team up and we're gonna do like ideating, brainstorming about our MTP, about like the problems, the solution that we want to do, and probably we will have like sometimes to test also before joining the challenge. So that is about what we will do. And I will share a little bit about the purpose launch part methodology that we will go through. So we will have some kind of like first initial ideas about what it is. And this is an open source methodology. So we have the link for that. We have the material that we can read on ourselves as well. So I will share that to the team. So actually, what is it? It is a process that will help us to create, like, to generate the ideas. So like these little eggs, and then also growing these eggs into the ego. So not only at the ideas level, but we're gonna build something tangible and then testing it and make it like bring these ideas into reality and actually, yeah, making an impact together. So that is yeah, the idea about this methodology. And for these methodologies, what we're gonna go through, we're gonna focus on 8 axes of a startup. So we're gonna talk about and work on purpose, which is like our why we are doing this, our MTP. We're gonna work on people. People is about the team, about the community, that sharing our passion, the same passion, the community of the customer who's having the problem that we'll try to solve. And then we're gonna work on the customer, so about their pain, about how we can like solve these problems for them, and about the product that we, yeah, as a solution that we will bring to these people to solve the problem. And also we're gonna go through the abundance, which is how we can uh, get into this abundance and then manage this abundance to scale. So there's we'll have like several days, like not days but like even longer, it depends on the on the team rhythm. But yeah, we're gonna touch on that point as well. And about sustainability, so how we can be sustainable. Like, yeah, we're bringing value, but like, for example, how we can generate revenue for us to sustain, right? And we also like touching the process, which is the whole process of how, because a startup is completely different than a traditional company. So yeah, we're gonna go through the process, which is specifically for our, like for example, at first we're gonna generate idea, and it is just like the little eggs, and we need to first have the idea and then need to discover like the problems, right, of the customer, And then we're gonna, after discovering the right problem and asking, like, discover about our solution, we build the MVP, the minimum viable product, and we're gonna test after that to see if it fits to the market. And after that, we're gonna kind of like scale. So these are the process that we're gonna go through, and these processes are different in each stage. It's different. So the methodology will also help us to go through this. And then building the product, which is, yeah, the product in each phase, it's gonna be different. So how we can build that product, as well as the metrics, is what we're gonna measure to know that like we are progressing or not in each phase. So it is in brief about the methodologies. These are just like the detail about, yeah, the detail about each axis. So I just go very quickly through it. Yeah. So yeah. So for the purpose launch part, we're gonna go on the purpose challenge on the 7th of November. And on the 7th of November in the purpose challenge, we will go only through the purpose, the people, the customer, the abundance axis. We will cover like 4 of these 8 from the very like beginning phase. And with us, with a team, we're gonna go more. Oh, sorry, we're gonna continue. Not only like after the challenge, after presenting in front of the advisors, the disruptors, and like maybe the investor as well. After that, we still like working together and yeah, going through other accesses as well, and bring this into something tangible and creating an impact together. That is what we expect. So what we will do right now is to make the team forming. First, which team will join? As the in the survey that we have put together, we have 14 responses in that survey, and we already put like which are the like, yeah, kind of the customer segment that we are, or like, yeah, that we are want to create an impact on. So a lot of us was like, yeah, about kids and teens, but we choose also many others segment as well. So in order to build something concrete, we need to team up and divide it into, like, for example, if it's for kids and teens, or if it's something that we want to create for adults, like for reskillings or something like that for adults. So it's something completely different. So we need to figure out which team we wanna, which team we wanna go. Is that kids and teens, or is that adult? Or if we want, we can join both. If we can arrange time and we are passionate about both, for example. So I already put like very quick survey with just like some question on it. So for us to just choose the team that we want to join, and from today and tomorrow we will decide on like who's gonna be in which team. So we on Thursday we're gonna work within our team from Thursday. So how we gonna have the team collaboration in each team? In order to make it efficient, we have like some roles in it. The first role is the mentor. So the mentor will help us with the process of the purpose launch part of like this week, what we gonna do within this week. So we're gonna meet with the mentor on Monday, for example, like at the beginning of the week, and we're gonna see where we are now, and then what we're gonna need to do during this week. And then, yeah, so that's the role of the mentor, will help us, will guide us through the process of purpose launchpad. And then after that, we also have within the team, the coordinator. We need like one coordinator who will help us to first coordinate the team meetings. And then we'll consider the other team members' availabilities and the skills to, to do this assignment of the week. And then we have the team members. So we also need to decide on the coordinator of each team. So in the survey, I also asked us if we volunteer to be a coordinator, if we are willing to be a coordinator. So yes or no, or something like that. And then for the process, that what we will do, for 1 week, what we will do, beginning of the week, the mentor will have us to assess the situation of the team, like what we've been doing, and see where we are now. After the assessment, we will see, the mentor will show us what we gonna do, like as assignment during that week, what we need to do. And then the team with the coordinator will coordinate and figure out like who's gonna work on which task, how we gonna work together within the team. And then after that, the team will have daily meeting, or like twice every 2 days, for example. But the best, if we can do, the best is like every day we meet 15 minutes only, just to know what we did yesterday, what are the obstacles that we have, and then what we will do today. So that is for the process that we go through. So right now, which team, we need to decide which team we will join and which role we will play. I have the form here, and I put let me stop share, and I share with you the link. Do you see the link on the chat? Yeah, if we can do it right now, it's gonna be great. Like we put our information, and then choose the team that we want to be in. And so we're gonna put maybe like 2 to 3 minutes to do that all together.
It's forcing me to choose either kids and teens or adults. I can't activate both of those.
Oh, there is one both. Do you see the both?
Ah, duh. Thank you.
That was for you. That was for you, sir.
If I read it, I guess that would have helped.
It's in English, yes, sorry about it.
Yeah.
That's a little embarrassing.
That's how we get to know each other, right? That's the perfect icebreaker.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Well, it's good. I don't have to explain to you guys what an idiot I can be at times.
But you're yet to see how we can unfold in similar ways.
Yeah.
We're up next.
Yeah, I do tend to jump ahead, you know.
Good.
I do that. Yeah, good.
I appreciate that very much.
Feel you, Farron. Do it all the time.
We are right behind you, definitely.
Jonathan, that's a great observation. What you've made in the chat. We can always think how to improve perhaps that whole team building. Um, it won't necessarily be how it goes, but it was a way to perhaps see if there was more of an interest in higher education or actual K-12 perhaps, or if there was a strongly division between that. But we can always see if there is perhaps a lot that are in both, right? Then how do we best structure the teams? It's always also open for um, ideas and yeah, seeing how we best do it. So don't.
I'm just thinking that perhaps just one person's perspective coming into this fresh, perhaps it would be better to take a step back before crystallizing into teams and survey people on questions such as what would be the main consideration that each of us has and brings to the party for what are the great issues, the great challenges in education. And for example, is it a matter of distinction by age groups, or is it a matter of basic approach to learning? For example, there's a traditional top-down industrial model, which I suspect most of us abhor, but maybe not, I could be wrong, versus the bottom-up teachers becoming learning assistants. So they seek to draw out and cultivate and nourish the children's passion rather than impose the teacher's perspective, but it's very dear to my heart. These are some of the kinds of questions I'd like to see addressed before we jump into the level of projects.
So yeah, I think that's very essential for us, like in this process of like observing and asking people about like the biggest pain that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the like yeah the reason why like we put kind of like yeah having like different uh chunk of kind of like yeah we can say customer segment. It's just because um as we started, we need to start it with something from the beginning. So if it's too broad, it's like we cannot have like we cannot like yeah start with something first. So we choose our starting point, but that doesn't mean that it's fixed at that level. We gonna discover, we gonna ask people, we gonna yeah see the real thing when we experience it. So yeah, that was the reason behind. But yeah, like at first we need to choose something to start with. So where is the starting point that we really want to solve first? And we form the team, and we together we work on that, and we do like these, asking people with the biggest pain and this kind of thing.
I understand. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your passion for getting something done rather than having endless conversation. That is important. It seems to me that there is a risk, in my view, of people compartmentalizing into categories prematurely. For example, if people are focused on early education or higher education, they will, and I think this speaks to something Heron was talking about, people will have a filter of, of all the questions and all the considerations in light of that area, rather than perhaps broader issues may pertain to education as a lifelong process. I mean, there are questions here that I think are fundamental, such as how is technology driving the flow of society? How do we include technology in the education process, whether it be early, late, or lifelong? I would like to see some consideration of these kinds of questions before we begin to move ahead into the aggressive process of teams and projects. And one more thought, Heron mentioned the point earlier of clients versus customers. I don't know what the right word is, but I do agree with, I think, his sentiment that this isn't necessarily a for-profit sort of model and approach that we're looking at here. While some for-profit schools can be great, and one of the people I cite in my book, I have a section in that Education for Tomorrow, where I pulled together what I thought was the best evidence, and it's certainly only a small part of what's really available. I'm sure some of you here know a lot more about the subject than I do, but you know, Y Combinator, an incredible startup factory, and yet its founder uh, has been extremely critical of the basic industrial model of education and the need for something radically different if people are to be prepared for the kind of technological future that we all see and embrace.
I just want to say I completely support that we should do a more detailed survey, and I think we can quickly put that together to get to know each other's interests and also what we each bring to the table, what we're interested in injecting into this, and where we see this going. Because also we want to avoid the typical pitfalls, which is to put things into boxes and categorizing things in the traditional way. And we are prone to that mistake clearly as well. So I think that's a great starting point, and see things differently, and not also target one educational system or another, but just leave it behind us, and design what needs to come ahead. Yeah.
I'd be interested also in doing one-on-one conversations with each of you. My sense is that's the only way I ever really get to meet somebody, is for you and I alone to have a half hour or an hour conversation about what we're doing, where we're going, what we want to see. And I invite all of you, I've put my contact information in there, to contact me, and let's have a conversation.
Excellent. You got it.
Yes, that's amazing. I have also shared a document that I think might be useful for us now, and it was a document that we created on the first week as a team in Planet Pilot, and it was basically an article about the problem of education, right? As you mentioned, Jonathan, not as higher education and secondary education, but as it is, and the future of it and the implications. I think it could be a starting point, perhaps, to just take a look at it and get some ideas for how we could then consider forming teams, right? Not sure it's exactly, but it's definitely a place for us to comment around those problems. Some we have identified, I'm sure many we didn't. So if you feel, for example, there is a problem that you are strongly attracted to, you perhaps could make a note there, or if there is one that's missing, you could also add it right and in the end, just maybe also as a solution for now to get to see if, what commonalities there are between us and the a way around that. Also, I agree with Karen that we can find a way maybe to do networking sessions. Maybe we could try an app, right? I've been to events where you just go into the networking and it pairs you up with somebody that's there and you have a little conversation, right? Maybe we could set up an interesting meeting like that that just gets us all to connect and meet with each other. But I definitely, your comments are very much appreciated. Let's try to see perhaps what binds us together, right? If it's not ages.
I just want to quickly add now that we don't yet know each other so well, that although this process is an accelerated process, what the Planet Pilot team here is doing is something very long term, and we have time. We have time to get things right. Right, we are not about pushing something out there.
Yeah.
Right,
That's important. Yeah.
We are about doing the right thing. And I often hear myself saying, I'll be doing this for the rest of my life. I don't know about you, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm real clear
Yeah.
that my job is in the next decade. I think I'm still a little ahead of that. Well, we're all here a little ahead of the curve. And so there's no hurry at all, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm in this for life.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, exactly, right? So we are getting to know each other here, and I think we can get something really interesting out of this process. Also, the deadlines that we have around the corner, but we can keep doing this, and that's the whole idea. Is to really, figure this out and create the future. And the future is not just the next 2-3 months, right? That is a very long-term thing.
Yeah. So, like, what's about like maybe a brainstorming section, the next brainstorming section about team forming then? Like the way we're gonna form the team, or just like we just, for example, right now we have, um, it can be like the MTP, right? Like for following if we have similar MTP, or it can be like, yeah, as the first suggestion it was, yeah, ages, or it can be just like randomly.
I think, yeah.
What do you think? Yeah.
we could do a survey like Jonathan also suggested, more like a set of questions that we all answer on our own time, and collect the answers. It could be a spreadsheet or it could be something else super simple. We all put our answers in there to explain what drives us, what motivates us, why do we want to do this, where do we see this going. Then we can see each other's answers really quickly, right, and get a really good impression on, are we aligned, are we in are we supposed to be on the same spaceship, or should we choose separate spaceships, right? I don't know. I really want to be on the same spaceship here with everybody, but that we might have to launch multiple spaceships here going in different directions.
Lars, if I may, I think that in designing such a survey, you need a well-balanced mix of specific questions, more open-ended questions,
Yeah.
draw people out in terms of their broader thinking. I think there are a lot of us who've thought deeply about these and related questions. And it needs, in my view, it needs to be a process, an iterative process. I think everything that's really valuable about changing the future is iterative. We try something, we make our mistakes, then we correct the mistakes, we keep trying, and we get closer and closer to an endpoint that serves.
Jonathan, what's about our previous, like we did have a call to action kind of survey, and in which we all, let me share the screen. Do you think that like we can start from there, that we had here? We already have like the answer of most of us, about, like what what are the communities? No, 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 not this one. What is your MTP? What is the picture of future education that you have in mind? Yeah, the education segment you are interested, and other things that you want to share with us. That was the first survey that we had together, and we have 14 responses here. The MTP, for example, here we have the answer of all of us. Yeah.
We share that so we can see each other's answers. I mean, let's put this out in a spreadsheet or another document. It's a starting point, definitely, and then I'm sure there are quite a lot of great open-ended questions as well that we could each answer to add to this profile.
So we start from here. Okay.
If we could find a sweet spot, an intersection, if you will, between most or hopefully all of the massively transformative purposes, then I think we'd have something where everybody could say, yes, I want to be part of that. That's worth giving hours or perhaps much more of my time to helping.
For me, my primary aim is at parents, because that's where it all starts before they ever before their kids get to school. They're already well on their way to a certain outlook and an understanding of who they are and what the world is. So my primary aim is at parents of prepubescent children, and actually probably 6 or under children. So that, and so my students are actually the parents, not the children. It's about changing the way the parents think and talk, because that's what their kids are going to learn.
That's a perfect fit with Planet Pilot. Yes.
Yeah, so for this, I will share then. I will share with. Are you like comfortable that I share this with the team, within the team, of all your answer from the survey?
Sure.
Of course. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna share share that, and yeah, and like we will dig deeper into the passion of each of us, and maybe find the intersection and then forming team from there.
Sounds good, Crystal. Yes. We got the ball started here, starting rolling.
Also, I'm creating a document. I'm about to share the link to it as well. Crystal, maybe that we could use the purpose challenge folder as a folder for all of us to already have a place to share information, and perhaps that's where we can put the Excel. I'm also creating a Word document that's gonna be empty now, but it's for us to fill it up with follow-up questions, like let's get to know each other, right? So if you have something that you would like to know about others, then you can put the question there, and then hopefully we can also use it as a funnel to start replying to those questions as individuals, right? So let me
Oh, sorry. Diana, are you finished?
Yes, I was about to share the link.
Okay, so may I add something? Or I've been listening to all what you said, and the question that Jonathan raised, what are the challenges in education, is interesting. So I was just going through my mind, and if you look at any change in anything, we have to have a very broad view, unfortunately, or in a clear way, because now one challenge in education is the schools, the locations, the styles, the how and why they've been constructed that way. As you said, all the way back to the Industrial Revolution, almost 100+ years ago, we're still using the same layout, more or less, especially if they're state schools, governments. This is one challenge. Now, in the first session, we talked about one example as the Acton Academy. So it's something totally different. This is one thing I understand. Also, another thing is, as Hiron said, the parents. There was the other lady, the Soraya. She's very much concerned about the parents. Now there is the teacher's side. Okay, the teachers themselves. So they are taught in a different, very certain written brackets. They can only teach one thing. So is that one thing, is it going to last for the next 20, 30 years? I'm sure it won't. So we have to go and focus on back to the teachers. So teach the teachers, as we say, train the trainer, all right? About what are we going to teach to the teachers? Because teachers already, they're still belonging to the previous generation, okay? So we expect from a teacher to teach something for the next 10, 15 years. That's another question mark. And of course, when we're talking about the teachers, and there is this voice issue, the policymakers. So the policymakers, we have to deal with the policymakers in order to be able to have an impact on the education. We can work here, but we have to reach out, and touch that moment. So there are different segments. And also the output, when we change the output, when we change the education, what will be the output? What do we expect the kid, they will have learned to be able to survive in the future after 20 years? So that's really so many questions, as I understand. Can we put all the questions, all these components in the same survey? Shall we do it, or shall we separate it? So that's what I've been doing for the last 10 minutes as I was listening to you. So there is no, as you said, there is no burden, that there is no borders for any survey. It could be maybe 50 questions. It could be 5 different, 10 different sections. So that I'm not confused, but these are the questions just flying around in my mind. So I just wanted to share. So thank you.
Thank you, Kazim. That's the ideas are all welcome. I think it would be great if we just start with it, right? Whether it's 5 or 30. Maybe we'll realize by question 5 if we need more questions, right? Or if perhaps those 5 were. But yes, I thank you for thinking about it. It's all about learning what's the best way to do this, right? Again, I love what you're like. I'm just having ideas that yeah, maybe why it's so difficult to change the whole education is because you see it as a whole, right? Like, how do you change the whole? But if we look at specifics, right, and then see, okay, how can we gather teams around specifics, and then it becoming part of a bigger whole, it could, yes. So how do we do that? It's going to be
just to support the idea, if there was an architect, for example, in the group, that architect would definitely start thinking about, well, what kind of school shall I build? What do we need in the school? Do we need the school building at all? As we are, since 7 months, don't have the offices working remote back home. So maybe we don't need the schools, the buildings, all the investments, all these constructions, concrete, whatever. So we destroy our green areas to build such buildings and put all the children into that building, stuff it there, and expect from them to have the awareness for the environment. That's what we adults do.
So actually taking at the time as well right now, yeah. So maybe for this I will share with the team about like the first question, like kind of like survey or questionnaire, and then we will add more like, yeah, as what we think is needed. um so yeah, we gonna together like work offline on this. And we have the next, if we need like tomorrow, or like it's we already have one section scheduled on Thursday, so we can also like have a brainstorm section and make decision on that section. What do you think?
I want to talk with each of you individually, and I don't know whether that can be arranged, in some sort of organized way through this, or if we're just going to leave it up to us to make those connections. But I think if I had an opportunity to talk with each of you individually, I'd learn a lot more about you. You'd learn a lot more about me, and we'd find out where our areas of interest overlap and how we can collaborate together. So that's really important to me. I want to talk to you guys and find out who you are and let you know more about who I am.
Well, what are you up to tomorrow? Let's do it tomorrow. I start again. I volunteer.
Yeah, I'm available. Listen, I'm retired. I got all the time in the world. So,
where are you now?
Pardon me?
Where do you live? Where are you now?
Oh, I'm in California.
In California.
So anyway, the point, I put all my contact information in there. There are lots of ways to get a hold of me, and we can arrange, you can email me, or I'm on LinkedIn or Facebook or all these things.
Okay.
Just contact me and let's arrange a time to talk and share ideas.
Okay.
All of you.
Let me check. So I'll go first and come back with my comments after my conversation with Heron. Then you decide whether you want to do it or not.
Okay, a quick review. Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I look forward to those conversations for sure.
Okay. Wednesday.
Right.
Let's see.
Thank you so much. So let's catch up on our WhatsApp group chat, and then we work online offline on this. And for the next Thursday, hope that we can all join, or if we cannot join, then we gonna figure out like maybe like today that we have two sections or this kind of thing.
I'm not clear on what we're supposed to do on WhatsApp. That's new to me. I haven't used that before, and I don't particularly like typing either. I like talking. So, could you explain to me what is the purpose of that WhatsApp group?
It's for communicating within the team when we are, because like the other ways of communicating such as like Zoom, for example, we need to gather at the same time, and we cannot like all the time like being together like at the same time, right? So in WhatsApp we can like when we can communicate, and then we just like talk to people, and then after that if we are busy we and then we come back and we still have all the conversation there. So we have a more effective communication.
Is it possible for me to fully participate in this group without using WhatsApp?
So we need to find other ways of like.
Hiran, if you're more into talking, you can record your message. You don't need to write it there.
No, it's about real-time interaction. I just find text to be just so slow, and I just don't like communicating that way. I like real-time, immediate. So I'm just curious. I mean, if I don't participate in WhatsApp, is that going to get in the way of my ability to participate here?
Not at all.
Not at all. You can always join the live sessions, right? Like these, and you will, for sure, you will probably miss out on a lot of communication that is happening in WhatsApp.
Well, I can always just check in there occasionally, and if I see something interesting, I'll respond. Okay, would that be appropriate to do it that way?
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it WhatsApp in specific that you don't check, or just apps in general? Like would another app serve the
No, I just don't like text. You know, I just, yeah, it's not satisfying to me. Unless I can hear your voice, I don't need to see your face, but for me, language is important and I need to hear the voice. That's just crucial for me.
I'm a voice
To me,
message.
sorry.
Voice messages from me.
It seems to me that we all have different ways that we prefer communicating. So much voice, so much text, so much documents, spreadsheets, what have you. Perhaps the organizers, I think Planet Pilot and perhaps Lars, I'm not sure you two are the organizers overall or not, but if you're not, I'm sure you know who is. Perhaps you could offer different ways for those of us who want to contribute as we can to participate based on our preferred styles of communication and preferred ways to participate. For example, speaking personally, I'm not sure that I belong in any of the groups that are being formed. I'm pretty sure that I do not belong in something that divides people by stage of education. But I'm also pretty sure that I have some specific ideas and thoughts to contribute to different conversations like this. And I would love the chance to do so. And I would love the chance to do what Heron's recommending of the deep one-to-one dives.
Makes sense.
I think it's never been easier actually to collaborate asynchronously, thanks to, for example, Google Docs or whatever provider you prefer to use. But these technologies are really advanced. That means we can go in to a document, can be a strategy document, can be anything else, see what's happening, put in our thoughts and comments and ideas, and leave again and do it in your own time zone, at your own pace. And that's supplemented with live Zoom calls at a certain frequency to accommodate our different time zones. This combination would get us covered pretty well, I think. And then to a large extent, whether we like it or not, WhatsApp has been a dominating communication app that a lot of people use. And I had kind of a device breakdown recently where I didn't have it for a few days. And it was like, when I came back online, there was like thousands of urgent messages people were expecting that I had seen and taken action on, right? That's where we are today, whether we like it or not. So for the majority of our population, that's how communication is going on. But I would love to see us agreeing on a way to collaborate, to communicate that embraces everything we have been sharing here and our individual work styles and communication style. And I think it's possible. It's simply about finding out what works for us now that we are getting to know each other's preferences better, right?
I can suggest something, actually express what I think, what Jonathan said and on Huron said. We shall keep the WhatsApp application whether we want it or not. I'm also not a big fan of it, but now we're hooked. And since we are now working all over the world, and that's maybe another thing because of the time zone. Now, Huron is in California, I'm in Istanbul, they're 10 hours. While you wake up, I go to sleep, something like that. So that's why the information has to be somewhere that we can reach. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
You know? I support your idea. I escaped from Google for many years. And WhatsApp I was really forced. And what I did to this group, I turned it mute. It doesn't beep, there's a message. That's all I can do. But then I have to go and see. One thing I can really put an emphasis on it. If Huron or Jonathan or whoever else wants not to be present at the group, that's fine. That's, own choice. That's free world, no problem. Unless we have to keep repeating the information for the sake of them catching up with what's going on. Mm-hmm. Which if it will cause us some extra time, some extra job, some extra effort, then that will somehow, sort of hurt the system. Other than that, I don't have any problem with that. Well, because I know it can happen.
Yeah, that was sort of what was bothering me, is that if
Yeah.
I don't stay current on
Yes.
WhatsApp, that I'm really going to be missing out on some important stuff. You know, that bothers me. I want to stay current, but like I said, I like staying current this way.
Okay, what we can do is you can still have the app and you can read it. I understand you don't like to write, but you read a lot, or you read a lot. So you like reading. And then what you want to say, we make listen to hear on sessions, and everyone comes in to listen to you. How about that?
Yeah, so I just need to at least check what's there probably once
All
a
right.
day, and then comment if I feel moved to.
Right?
Okay, all right, I got it.
It's
Maybe the
practical.
organizers could produce a daily digest of key ideas that they thought were particularly striking, and then those of it, or weekly, so people could subscribe to a weekly digest or a daily digest.
Good. It's an interesting idea, you know. Okay. Put a digest, make a little pill. We take it, we got it.
We have an AI for that.
Good, good. Why not?
Yeah.
Good, but we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
By the way,
So,
when we
we
speaking
will-
of, just a quick thing, speaking of organizers, the organizers of this is actually Purpose Alliance. We are participating as a team. So we are not the organizers, we are kind of the organizers of this team, you could say. And we will be given access to a certain platform, I think, where there are tools and other stuff. I've never been in there. Crystal knows everything there is to know about this. So Crystal is our mentor and coordinator from the team to the organizer. Yeah.
There's also another point that is that the Purpose Alliance Challenge is a certain duration, and it does have some certain stages.
Yeah. Yes.
Expected, for example, meeting times, etc., for that duration of the challenge. Now, again, as you mentioned, this is a lifelong journey. So, again, like it does not necessarily have to end there, right? Like it again can be past that, right? Like this is how the challenge works, like in terms of timings. But obviously, there is space for just meeting and sharing and thinking, like us outside of the challenge, after like what we want to do together, right? Perhaps, Jonathan, then we would have more time to actually come up with more clear teams, right? Post this, like that we know each other and we know exactly, we've experimented perhaps a little bit. So yeah, it's not the end of it. It's just like the beginning, I would say.
Agree.
I
That's
guess
a good point.
If I could summarize my concern, it's that if we don't take the time to fully understand the paradigm that we're within now and why we are dissatisfied with that paradigm, then I think that what we're going to be doing, instead of replacing the paradigm, is attacking pieces of the paradigm or attempting to tweak or change pieces of the paradigm instead of evolving a new, more comprehensive and much more robust paradigm, which I think is what we're all ultimately about here. Perhaps I'm wrong, but I don't think so.
Correct. I really think this document that I've shared a drive. I think there's a document there where we did kind of like a problem research understanding. I think that could really get this conversation rolling.
I'll look at that.
Because when we close the chat, you lose all the links. So if you haven't copied it or opened it, make sure you do so.
Let me put that in the group.
Yeah, I've pasted it in the group. And that's also where we will add Excels with the MTPs, right, Crystal? So also to facilitate perhaps the communication for one-on-one meetings as well.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start by really thinking how we can tackle this, right? It's a big.
Yeah.
Is this the first Zoom meet, and the one earlier today, but are these two today are the first actual face meetings on Zoom? Is that right?
Yes.
How many people were here at the earlier meeting?
we were it was
8.
9. It was
8,
9 for
Alright.
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we are 10.
I want to
Yeah.
meet all of them too,
Yeah.
but that's just too early for me.
So you guys, actually, I gotta go because, it
Me
was
too.
scheduled for 9
Yeah.
until 7. So
Yes.
it's way over that, and I see Jonathan and everyone. So let's keep
Yeah.
that also, but rolling over WhatsApp. Okay, see what happens
Sorry about it.
Good beginning.
for beginning. All
For
right,
beginning.
thank you very much. Thank you for the time, and we'll be hearing from you, Crystal, right? The mentor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Gotta
Bye-bye.
go.
See you
Thank you
later.
all.
Thank you, everybody.
Great.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.